Oh, also we haven't made our productivity modules. That's big no-no on me. Yikes. These up. Made one, and that's the rest. So that's good to go-ish. Okay, we're good on science. We don't need to make any more science. We just need to wait for it to finish. And we'll get this going, and go make some landfills. Well, I think if I were to suggest something, I'd say play the game and do one playthrough yourself, just learning. And then after you're done with your first playthrough, I mean, if you want to be more efficient, look up stuff and try to figure out how to do things a little bit better. But I think the first playthrough should be pretty blind if possible, because I think that's for me, that's the best part of the game. About any game, really. I really enjoy learning about a new game, and if I look up everything, that kind of just shortens my enjoyment with the game. But I mean, with Factorio, the game has a million hours. So, again, everyone has their own playthrough, or play style, so do whatever you want. Again, that is part of the charm of the game. Making some of these. Our rocket is done, finally. That took us about an hour, I guess. And let's see what we need. Need 200 processing units, 1,000 steel, 200 electric units, 100 pipes. Oh, the pipes might be an issue. Hadn't prepared for that one. But we should have steel, and we should have the engines. All that should be good to go. I have so much iron. It's crazy. Yeah, I personally like the feeling of getting overwhelmed with things to do, you know? As long as it's not like... Since Factorio is not like you have to do things at a certain time. As long as you have, you know, just go at your own pace, I don't mind getting overwhelmed. But if you're like forced to do things on the game schedule and you're getting overwhelmed by that, then that's no bueno, I think. Then it's gonna be really stressful and kind of annoying. Yeah, it is. It can be pretty overwhelming starting out. But the best advice I've learned about that kind of thing is just, you know, take it apart, put everything in its own. Take a large task, make it very small, several small tasks, and that just makes it more manageable. We have to wait on these anyway, so I don't mind taking this time here. Military science for me is always something I don't tend to mess with too much. I usually just make it in my inventory most of the time. mainly because I don't tend to automate any of this stuff. The only thing I automate are, well, I automate grenades and walls, but I don't automate the piercing rounds, which is something I definitely probably should do, because it's probably the easiest part out of these three materials. But since I don't do that, I generally just plop something down, hand feed it a little bit, and then I go on my way. Because as long as you're not playing in Death World, spiders aren't terribly crazy. I mean, you've seen how I've done this. I've basically killed their base once, and then I just put turrets on the outside, and we've been fine. That'll be a struggle, levels, but I'll have to. It'll be a lot of thinking. It'll be me standing around and just saying, "Oh, I need to do this," but then, no, I need to make sure I don't do that, and oh no, we've done that. We need to blank, and it'll be a mess. I guess it'll be wonderful to watch. As long as you like seeing me talk myself in circles. Alright, let's get everything out. But this summer I can remember where it's going to be at. Have I ever used them all? Not particularly. I've been working on that. I've been trying to make a bus and putting them all up. But I kind of do something like this, but just a little bit more organized. It's not a true mall. It's something I need to learn. I want to be a legit Factorio player. How long to the rocket? Maybe 10 minutes? Give me a second. I'm going to be making it right now. Actually short. I will be making it very soon. We need to wait for 50 more processing units. But other than that, everything's done. We just need to make it. Get our electric engines. 1, 2, 4. Pipes. Line right here. Go. Then pick up our concrete. Alright, so we have everything that we need other than 27 of that. So we're gonna prep this out. Hopefully I made this large enough. Let's go and get more landfills. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just bring all the things that we made over there and watch it go. With the productivity 3, we'll have 4 of them. Once we have all those made, then at that point, we just need about 700 of each rocket part. There are 3 rocket parts. There's the rocket fuel, there's a rocket control unit, and then there's the low density structure. So we've been making those since we could, and believe we should have enough of each thing. make some stack inserters. So I think our next, so we're good on this. So I think our next playthrough is going to be Lazy Bastard run. We'll try that out and see how we do. That way we can get our organizational skills intact, and maybe that'll help us learn what we need to do for this run. And then we'll try this out again some other time. All right. I say this every time, but I still don't believe it. How can we make an entire rocket silo in our inventory? Doesn't make any sense. Whereas we are unable to make a small engine in our inventory, but rocket silo, no problem. I don't understand. There it is. Now we just need to get our parts and we'll be good to go. We'll have to wait it out, of course, make the actual making process, but that shouldn't take too long. We'll have to make sure that we put in our productivity modules before I actually start making stuff. Let's do that. Go. We got the rocket fuel made, put in there. Next is low density. We need about 700. We have way more than that. I vastly overestimated what we needed here. Oh, I just noticed that we've never actually done the tool belt, right? Or whatever. We haven't gotten modular armor either, so that means that our inventory space has been hampered because you get more inventory space from that. All right, so we got those two. Now let's grab the control units. $480, 373. That is perfect. So that should be more than enough of everything. So we'll just sit here and feel like we did a okay job. Not good enough, but we got some stuff done. I guess we're gonna ride with our rocket again, since I have a car made that I never used. I know how, game. Don't patronize me. So we should probably count how long this takes. We're at 9:20. Oh, well, I was off on my prediction there. Let's go with 9:30. I can do beacons, but I would need to research them. They're actually really cheap. Interesting. I'm probably not going to do a beacon for the next playthrough, so I just want to get a good indicator on how long this takes, so we can keep track up here on whether it's possible or not. But I didn't know beacons were only 75. I might make those next time. Yes and no. I mean, it'd be... So what? Technically, no, because once we start the very beginning, because it uses up 10 per, and every time we put in 10, it fills up back to 20 before this next part is done. So it would help at the very beginning for like 0.5 seconds. But after that, no, not really. Because it always puts one buffer in there for you. So it'll start immediately after this one's done. Okay, so I guess while that's going, let's do a tour of our wonderful spaghetti base. And just talk about what we can do better and whatnot. That way we don't have to do it later. So, as you can see, our science, not too terrible. We had red and green on lockdown. We had no problems with that. Blue, we started having issues once we didn't make enough red. But other than that, our science wasn't terrible. But because of our layout here, we had to run back and forth, putting things in and trying to hand feed. So what we could do better next time is making sure that we have everything together. At least our blue science, purple science, and this stuff. That way, if we do decide to hand feed, which we probably will, because I'm lazy, but I'll at the same time like doing work for some reason. We won't have to go as far, and that'll save us a lot of time. Additionally, next time, don't research efficiency at all. It's completely unneeded. At no point do I actually need efficiency. Wait. Yeah, at no point do I actually need efficiency. I think it was this tree that I was looking at that I thought, oh hey, yeah, definitely need efficiency. I don't know why I didn't think I need beacons, but I think this was to confirm for me. But this does not go to this tree, so don't do efficiency for rockets. Yeah, probably we'll do more belts next time. We'll also want to get a very good infrastructure set for circuits. Circuits are going to be needed all game long, for sure. So if getting this online early is definitely very good. We tried to do that. We set this up early-ish, and then we started trying to stock it, but it just wasn't enough. So what I'd like to do next time is make sure that we actually at least have this amount. Maybe not this amount, but have enough room for this and set up our red circuits accordingly. The main issue with trying to set up a nice circuit area at the very beginning is that it eats iron like crazy, and it also eats copper like crazy. So all of your resources go into this area here, and if you need that for other things, then it can be a problem. But it's a necessary evil, really, just to spend everything here. And we'll get if you got a good stock, then you can use that later on for when you're actually running out of materials. Yes, ore lines. Well, in addition to the circuits, another thing is to make sure that you have a good supply of ore, which we did. We had a nice supply of ore to begin with, but then near mid-game, it started dwindling a little too much, and that wasn't enough to keep up with what we were wanting to do. And we decided to get all these ore patches a little bit late. We should have spent the time to get them earlier because we knew that we were going to spend the time anyways. So we should have done it earlier. That would have doubled our products, and then that would have allowed us to do the circuits earlier. I think my current strategy of setting up a initial area where I just kind of put everything together, smelting and science, is not a bad strategy. I'll have to think about if it's worthwhile though, because that means I kind of do double the work. I set up red and green science just by themselves, like we had them up here, and I had it off of the stuff that I had to hand feed, and it was working fine. But then when we were setting this up, it took a little bit longer. My rationale for setting up here first and doing all this smelting like this is I need to get this stuff like right away. And as long as I can have this going while I'm making this, I'm not wasting time. So that's why I do it like this. I think that's the right way to do it for me, personally. But I'm not sure if it's exactly efficient. That could be some time that we cut off if I decide to do that like that. Maybe we can set this up like this, but then also start our actual real setup here, down here, and then we'll just have a longer belt line to the area. That might be better. But yeah, I think for me it's just being too stubborn to get this stuff because I feel like it wastes too much time. But if we're gonna do it at the end anyways, might as well do it early. Judge, who do you think I am? Someone who's smart? Gosh. I mean, if I really wanted to do this, I would just have blueprints, you know? But I'm a little stubborn. I don't really like using blueprints. So I gotta make everything up as I go. And for me, that's fun. Because if I just did blueprints for everything, it'd become a little too samey, in my opinion. And, you know, I wouldn't have to think as much. So definitely if I wanted to save time, I should do everything you're saying, for sure. That's no question. But I'm stubborn, so I will not. I did make up a general plan that we completely ignored. My general plan for this map at the very beginning was put up this initial area, have red and green science, and then after that put our smelting up here in this area. Smelting up here in this area would allow us to bring all this stuff up here, grab from these guys because it'd be nearby, all this would be nearby, and then start on oil. I think the main mistake that I made on this map that I'm going to say is the number one thing that took us too long is getting this oil. We were 4 hours in before we even got oil, and that was a big mistake. So if I had gone to get the oil earlier, I think we would have been completely fine. But I was too caught up on getting all this set up, and that just didn't work out. Another thing is, again, keep track of our electricity. All right, we're here. Putting the car in. We're getting in. We're gonna launch it. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1. There we go. We'll zoom in super close. And our camera should follow this. Cough camera. Yeah, alright, here we go. There, we did it. 9 hours and 31 minutes. So we were 1 hour and 31 minutes over. Exactly, somehow. I think we're doing better. We cut off an hour of our last time, which is a little strange for me because I thought last time was a huge disaster at the very end. Which means that we really took our time on this one, or we did something wrong, which is I think the oil once again. But we'll work on it. We'll get it next time. So this is the final look of our map. I think it wasn't too bad. Biters definitely were not an issue for us this round, like they were on the last try. So we did learn from that. We were able to kill off the bases pretty easily, and just put some turrets down, and we're good. The early ammo setup that we had here really helped us out. Maybe so I didn't have to worry about that at all. Military-wise, this wasn't a problem. So next time we'll try to do the same thing. We are going to do a better layout and all that jazz that we talked about earlier. So I think that's going to be all from me. Next stream is going to be same time, 12 a.m. CT, but I think we're going to be playing some other game. Probably Hyperlight Drifter, I'm not sure, but we're going to be trying something else. And then after that game, we'll come back to Factorio and we'll probably do another achievement run, which is probably going to be this one, Lazy Bastard. Win the game by crafting no more than 111 items manually. That'll be fun. And then after that run, we'll probably do another one of these. So I think manual feeding will speed up a lot. Yeah, I agree. Manual feeding definitely takes me too much here. It's just part of the spaghetti layout that we had that really cost us once again. So one reason why I manually feed is that way I can force what I want to go in the right place, because some of these things need to go in several places. Like these need to go to blue, and they also need to go down here. If we had split it off, even with priority, too much would go over here, and then we would had a lot of red circuits on the belt going from here to here, which are technically dead. That's dead product on the belt, and this is all about time efficiency, which means that we really want to get everything that we make used right away. We want to be right on the edge of, do we have enough? Do we not have enough? So I definitely agree though. Next time we should not hand feed this much. So we'll work on that. So that's gonna be it for me today. Thanks everyone for coming by. We'll be back here tomorrow. I'll see you guys next time.